Sunday, 7:45, the Allianz Stadium, Juventus against Roma. And I want to talk about Abraham because me and you've got history with Abraham and discussions. People won't know about this, but a few seasons ago, we were doing a show together and I backed Abraham. I backed him in a big way. And you were like, what are you on about? You weren't sure. Time has passed. He's now playing in Serie A. He's now playing for Roma. How are you feeling about his move to Roma and his career path, I guess, in general?
Firstly, I want to say, just to clarify, I never said Tammy Abraham wasn't good.
No, that's true.
I didn't think he was as good as what you thought he was.
Okay.
And that's why he headed off to Serie A, because he couldn't get into Chelsea. I think it's been a good move for him because Serie A is frantic, explosive, entertaining. And I think he probably needed to go somewhere where you get lots of chances to score goals. I think Roma are this side in Serie A that nobody's that scared of. So every game feels like it could be 4-2 or 5-1. And so he's getting into pockets of where he gets a lot more chances, gets more space. I was looking at his stats, and his stats are pretty good for a goal scorer. In his last 66 games for Chelsea, he scored 21 goals and 19 of them appearances were off the bench. That's pretty good. It's just a case of, I look at him and I think you're playing for Roma, who are going to finish 6th, 7th, 8th, maybe might squeeze in 5th. Am I going to be like, oh, Tammy's had such a good season, scored 15 for Roma, he's got them into 5th? I think top strikers take a team from like 6th, 5th to 3rd, 4th. You're nodding, but I know you're going to be like, yeah, but Tammy's still the guy.
So no. So hear me out. So first of all, let's create some context, right? Roma are currently 4th, by the way. You're saying they're going to be top 5, but they're currently 4th. And Tammy Abraham has come in and he's taking over from Edin Dzeko, who's gone to Inter Milan, of course. So there's a new kind of pressure on him there. That said, I'm actually a little bit, and this is a dangerous thing to say because I think it's on a bit of a knife edge. I love his link-up play. I was watching all his goals this morning, and I was able to have a look at some of his kind of link-up play with the midfield as well. He's got everything. I think that's the thing I keep coming back to. He has got everything. He's got great feet for a big lad. He's willing to run in behind. He's willing to drift out wide to pick up the ball. He offers and shows for the ball. He can hold off a centre-back as well. But the thing that he will be judged on is, of course, goals. So for him to have scored only, he scored 5 in total, but the European Conference League has been buffering that a little bit for Roma so far. Roma themselves have hit the woodwork 7 times, I saw. So I think he's getting close. He's missed 4 big chances so far, which isn't great. The standard that I hold Tammy Abraham up to is very, very high, as we have revealed here. So I want more. I really do want more from him. And I expect him to, if he wants to be the striker that I believe he should be, then I actually do. He needs to grab the ball by the horns, really, I think, this season for them. And success for me is him scoring. He needs to score over 15 goals for this Roma side. And I think there's an excitement there at the moment with Mourinho. And they have got off to a good start, winning 5 of the 7 games. But it really is now or never, I think, for Tammy Abraham.
I just think with Jose, there's this thing about Serie A where people are going, is he suited to Serie A? What does that mean? What is Serie A to people? Like, are people going, oh, it's slow, it's still slow, it's boring, that's Jose Mourinho? That's not Jose anymore. Jose's not slow and boring. Jose is exactly what Serie A is. Frantic.
It's a transition. It's a transition manager.
Yeah. And I don't think people can expect Roma to win the league or anything because Jose's there. I think what you can expect from Roma is what Roma do year after year after year. Entertain you. They'll entertain you for a little while. You'll be scratching your head as to how they lose games. And then at times you'll go, oh my God, this Roma team are so beautiful and so perfect. I don't think Jose actually impacts Roma as a whole as much as what people think. I'm just curious to know, what do you think Serie A is? I'm so keen to know what people think it is.
I think, look, I think what it was slightly turgid defensive football, and those stereotypes run quite deep. I think for a lot of people that aren't watching the football, I think what you've got to see is the evolution of Italian football and Italian football players as well. You know, look at that side, who are champions of Europe, by the way, and all of those players are coming from that division and playing a very clear sort of style of football. You know, players like Insigne are able to kind of thrive in that division. You know, the thrust of that Italian side that did so well, the players that excited us, were playing for Sassuolo last season. So it is, you're right, it is not this. Serie A is not what it once was. What I would say is that the money is always in the Premier League, and therefore those big names are collected by that division. And so overall quality in peak years, the players are generally in the Premier League at this moment in time. You know, you could, I'm sure, like, people will pick me apart in the comments, and that's absolutely fine to find the sort of contradictions in that. You know, look no further to this Juventus side. You know, Juventus have got like numerous fantastic players, and there's absolutely no doubt in that. But, you know, when we're talking about Jose Mourinho and we're talking about Tammy Abraham, I think Tammy Abraham should be scoring goals in any division that he's in. He's done it in the Championship. He did it to a point in the Premier League, but he now needs to go to that next level. And if he's going to that next level, regardless of it being in the Premier League or in Serie A, he has to dominate this division. He really does, because in terms of what he wants to do as a player, he wants to be like Lukaku, and there's no reason why he can't be that player. But he's 24 now. Like, people would have gone, oh, maybe he should have stayed and you can learn from Lukaku. No, you need to do what Lukaku did, be playing football from 16, playing 30 games every season from 16, 17, and getting that experience that way. Roma have played Lazio, of course, lost that game. But aside from that, haven't truly played too many great teams. Juventus so far, I think they've lost to Atalanta, they lost to Milan, I think they lost to Napoli as well, if I'm right on that. So they have played those tougher games, and they are starting to find their feet now. This is going to be a real tough game for Roma, isn't it?
Yeah, I think Juventus are like this really annoying team to watch, because they've just got spirit, and people are scared of them still. And then they've got Chiesa, who's far too good to be playing for this Juventus team. He's a Juventus player. If you think back to the years of he's gonna, you know, they had all these great players, and he's going to go down in the history books. At the moment, he is the sole reason they're winning football matches. There is no two ways about that, because he's carrying this team. And I think he will against Roma as well. Roma's record against Juventus is horrific. It's one of those games that if you're a betting man, you literally go, yeah, Roma are going to lose this, and get the good odds on Juve, because they will win the game. I just think when I look at Juve, they need a refresh of everything. That back line still has Chiellini and Bonucci, who are brilliant for Italy, but for Juve, they're like, forget that they know each other. They're all over the place. They've still got Szczesny in goal. They've got Danilo at right back. They've got Sandro at left back. That defense needs to go. De Ligt needs to come in, and then they need to patch up the other areas in there. They've also got midfielders who they just haven't done very good business. They bought Artur for 64 million. They sold Romero to Atalanta on the cheap. They sold Spinazzola to Roma. They're just sort of hoping that they get through this season, I think. Whereas for Roma, I think they're going, this might be our chance to kind of like claw a little bit away at Juve and try and finish above them. I just think when you look at Juve from the outside, everybody just thinks Juventus, what a club, perfection, gorgeous, amazing. This season, they've been ugly, and they've won games really ugly, like they have in the past when Ronaldo's been there. I think it started to go wrong for them when they signed Ronaldo, because they got this player on humongous wages. They couldn't afford to bring in other players. Now they've got rid of him, but they got rid of him for 13 million. His wages have gone, but they couldn't reinvest the money anywhere because they're out of money. And now they're a bit like, well, we've got some cash, but we don't know what to do with it.
Let's have a prediction then on this game, my friend. Juventus, of course, at home against Roma. What do you think?
Juve 3-1. Chiesa.
After all that,
yeah, I just like they'll get it over the line. Like I said it a little bit there. Juve will always beat Roma. It's that game. It's like United Arsenal for all them years where you knew United would beat Arsenal. We're in that situation again. Chiesa brace. Tammy's going to score and go, Rambo, be quiet.
Yeah.
But yeah, what are you saying?
I'm going to go with. I know this is so boring. I keep going for draws. I think it's another draw. I've got to be honest. I do. Juventus don't score that many goals at the moment, but I think their overall collective is stronger than Roma's, and of course they're playing at home as well. So I think it's a 1-1 draw. I do. I think it's a 1-1 draw, unless there's maybe a penalty could decide it either way. But yeah, I think it's going to be a draw, I'm afraid. Sitting on the fence, guys. Apologies for that. Hi guys, James Allcott here from ESPN's Football Forecast. Thank you for watching. If you've enjoyed the video and you want to check out more, make sure you subscribe to ESPN UK.